Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Crimson Diamond. So, last time we almost finished exploring the lower level of the lodge, actually. We're almost done with the interior, I guess. Assuming these are the only rooms in the building. I mean, there may be. I'm assuming, given how much this game riffs on the Colonel's Bequest, I'm going to assume there are probably some hidden rooms behind secret doors. Like, that's one of the reasons why I'm checking behind mirrors and paintings and things like that, because those are kind of typical places where things were. Well, I shouldn't spoil anything. In case anyone hasn't played the Colonel's Bequest, I guess I shouldn't spoil too much. Anyway, let's go ahead and finish off what we started. So I guess all that I have left is the study and the billiards room in the upper left. I think I've been everywhere else. Is that right? I think so. Yeah, I think I've been everywhere else. So, okay. All right, let's go ahead and.
I hear voices near this doorway. I wonder what they're talking about.
Does she mean this doorway or this doorway? Or could she mean this doorway that we just came out of? Hold on. Eavesdrop. So, what. I'm sorry, I can't quite discern if that's supposed to be a male or a female. I really don't know what voice to. In that moment, Lightblight was very confused. What voice should he use for this character without offending anyone? All right, I'll try to come up with something. So, what are we gonna do about this? If that's a woman, I'm gonna be ashamed. What are we gonna do about it? We aren't gonna do anything. I'm gonna stay out of everyone's way and wait for all this to blow over.
But what if they find...
Shh! Listen, if you want to talk, we'll do it privately later. Meet me in the study after dinner. No, dispatcher. No, okay. Alright, so that was... Okay, so those people are in this room here. Wait, what is that? But that's outside, isn't... Oh, that's the conservatory. I didn't even realize. I thought this was... I thought that was like a back porch or something. I didn't even see the word conservatory there. Okay. So there's actually another room that we haven't explored. I guess we should go there? Yeah, it's the conservatory. Oh yeah, we saw this room in the demo, didn't we? Yeah, I remember this now. So whom do we have here? I mean, that's obviously a gentleman of somewhat more advanced age, but I still can't tell if this is supposed to be a male or a female. Gosh. The conservatory is a stunning showpiece of room. Surely the expense and trouble to bring this many planes of glass this far north must have been enormous. There's a door in the... Yeah, okay, that's about the door. You see a husky older man wearing beaten-up denim overalls. You see a tall, broad... Okay, that is a man, thank goodness. You see a tall, broad man with long, dark hair and a fringed jacket. Names would be nice, but I guess Nancy doesn't know their names yet. Let's check the room first. So look in this basket. I'm going to assume it's empty. There's nothing in it, as is usually the case. Open the drawer here. Look in drawer. It's empty. Gosh. Since I'm almost done exploring the different rooms of the house, or the lodge, or whatever, one thing I did want to say, I'm going to be a little bit critical of the game now. I'm pretty sure that I'm nowhere close to the end of the game. I mean, I don't think it's not like I'm getting close to the end of the game. I'm pretty sure this is still just the beginning. This is like still the first act where we're just meeting the different people. But one thing I do want to say is kind of a complaint. I think my main complaint is that the whole... The game feels just a little bit not quite finished. Like it feels like the world could be a bit more fleshed out. You know what it feels like to me? It feels to me like a typical case of somebody being very ambitious when they start off with a project like this, and then at the end there's a little bit of a rush to finish things, and some things are left a little bit undone. The reason I feel that way is because we've seen a lot of furniture with like many drawers in it, and Nancy actually goes to the trouble of opening every single drawer. Like she'll open 6 or 9 drawers in one chest of drawers and look in every one, but they're all empty. So it's like there was a lot of ambition, there was a lot of work that went into actually making all these drawers and cupboards and doors and things distinct objects that you could actually open and look inside. But I think towards the end, when Julia was finishing the design, she thought, "What am I going to put in there? Like, there's nothing that I can really think of to put in all these drawers and cupboards and closets and things." So they were left empty, and the waste paper baskets as well. Like, there's a waste paper basket in several rooms, but they're all empty, as if nobody throws away anything. Um, I realize that there's a lot of work that goes into this game. The game may look visually very simple. You know, if you're used to games that come out today, you know, games with 4K graphics and whatever, then I realize this game may look very primitive, and you might think, well, it's a very simple game. It must be easy to make something like that. It's not easy to make a game like this for one person. I realize that the amount of work that Julia has put into this game, making all the graphics, all the, you know, doing all the writing and all the, you know, design, programming, whatever, doing all that herself is a tremendous amount of work. And the fact that it's, you know, that's done by one person is impressive. And it is understandable that there are some things like that, you know, didn't quite get. I don't want to say they didn't get finished, because I don't, you know, it's not like the game is unfinished. This is not a beta or anything. This is a finished game. But it just feels to me like Julia had intended at some point in time to put more into the game, and then just ended up not doing so because she couldn't think of things to put in all these different drawers and closets and whatever. So I feel like it's just a bit sparse in terms of stuff to interact with. Like, there's a lot of design. There's the graphics are lovely. There's a lot of work that's been done with the graphics, and the graphics are really lovely. All these little details, all these, you know, little streaks and patterns and things in the panes of glass and the windows, that must have taken a tremendous amount of effort. Like, there's a lot of effort that's been put into the graphics, so it's a great looking game, but it just feels a little bit empty to me at times, quite literally, because, you know, all these things are empty. Like, it's like they're just empty containers. So the furniture is nice and all the furnishings of the house are nice, but there's nothing in them, literally. Like, they're empty. So that's probably like the one thing that I would really complain about if I was going to criticize. Again, it's understandable because, you know, one person doing all the work of putting together the game. You know, it's a lot of work and things like that. It's hard to think. You know, I couldn't think of, if I had like 100 drawers in the game that I had to fill with stuff, I couldn't think of what to put in them. I couldn't think of what to put in the game to populate all these things either. So it's understandable. It just feels a little bit less fleshed out, a little bit less fully realized, if that makes sense. Anyway, let's talk to these people. So.
Hello, my name's Nancy Maple, and I'm a mineralogist on assignment from the Royal Canadian Museum.
I'm Evan Richards. Look, you and your friend can stay the night, but tomorrow morning Jack will put you on a train back to the city. Oh, this is the guy who didn't want us here, right? Jack was saying, yeah, Mr. Richards doesn't want guests.
But my boss sent me up here on behalf of the Royal Canadian Museum. I'm a mineralogist.
I think I already said that, Nancy. I mean, Nancy's so earnest. She's obviously a very earnest and sincere person, but she's just a little bit naive, as such people, unfortunately, sometimes tend to be. I've got too much on my plate as it is. I think I changed this. I changed this guy's voice. What voice did I have for him before? I don't remember. Something. Yeah, I think it was more like I've got too much on my plate as it is. What with my sister and that lawyer of hers, and one mineralogist is already one too many. Oh, that's nice.
Hello, my name.
Is she speaking to the other guy now? It's just a little odd that she. I mean, obviously she's already introduced herself, so why is she saying this now? I'm assuming she's speaking to the other guy now.
How do you do?
Yeah, she's speaking to the other guy. What voice did I use for this guy? I already forgot.
Hello, Miss Maple. I'm well, thank you. My name is Nathan Cardinal, a family friend of Evan's. How do you know him?
Is this guy I'm going to assume this guy is a Native American, or, well, in this case, Native Canadian. Actually, I think Canadians call them First Nations. It sounds a little bit odd to Americans, but what Americans call Native Americans, Canadians typically call First Nations people, because they were there first, I guess.
Oh, I don't actually know Mr. Richards at all. The Royal Canadian Museum sent me here on assignment. I'm to survey the land and find out if there are diamonds here. A discovery like that would surely make a splash when the museum opens to the public.
You're wasting your time, I'm sorry to say. My family's lived in this area for many, many years and have never found diamonds here. Yeah, I'm assuming he is a native Canadian, and so his family is, you know, he's a remnant of the time when those people lived in these places before, European settlers and whatever. Small red garnets are still plentiful, but of little value.
All right. I wonder where the game auto-saved. I noticed that the game tends to auto-save when we're doing something a little bit, not necessarily risky, but at least something that, oh, that's why. You hear Jack calling, "Supper! It's time to head to the dining room." Okay, I get it. I guess the reason why it autosaved is because we'd met everyone, we've finished talking to everyone, so now it's time to advance the game. Okay, before we do that, let's go ahead and just quickly check the last two rooms. I think hopefully we have time to check the last two rooms instead of going to supper. Hopefully Jack won't mind. Oh, actually, there's a lot to explore here. I wonder if there's a timer. I doubt that. I'll take my time. I don't want to keep people waiting and risk missing something. But you know what? I'm going to go ahead and crud. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just a little bit nervous. I don't know how unforgiving this game is. The thing is, it's not a real Sierra game, so it's possible that it's more forgiving than real Sierra games would be. But what I don't want to do is spend like 10 minutes exploring this room and the other room and then go to the supper and find out that we missed something because we were supposed to go there faster. But if I go there without exploring these two rooms, I'm worried that I might miss something that way because maybe there's something here that I need to get before advancing the game. So I'm actually going to go ahead and load. I'm going to go ahead and come back here. And yeah, so we can eavesdrop here. And that's nice, but before I go and talk to them, I'm going to go ahead and just walk in here, take a look around. So this is the study. This is Evan Richards' well-appointed study. Next to the ornately carved fireplace, there is a fine tapestry depicting a forest scene. There is a display cabinet beside the fireplace. A fancy desk with brass fittings sits on the plush carpet. You surmise this room was once used by Evan's father, as it doesn't seem to be to his taste. How do you know it doesn't seem to be to Evan's? You've never even met Evan. You've literally never met Evan in your life. How do you know that it's not to his taste? All right. So let's see, look at the tapestry. There's a little faded with age. There are still rich colors woven into it. The detail is exquisite. Take the tapestry. Yeah, see, stuff like this, I mean, this is not really a big deal. It just feels a little bit, like these are little things, these are nitpicks, but it just feels a little bit, it just feels a bit odd that the game doesn't recognize that word or that doesn't understand this phrase. Like it obviously knows what the tapestry is, but when I say, did I make a typo? No, I typed it correctly. It doesn't know what the tapestry is when I say take the tapestry, even though, I mean, obviously we're not going to take the whole thing, but it could just say something like you don't want to, or it doesn't belong to you, or it's too big or whatever. But let's look behind the tapestry since I was talking about looking behind things. There's nothing behind it. All right. Let's take a look at the fireplace. The fireplace's legs and header are carved with simple linear flourishes. You imagine it provides invaluable heat during the long winter months. There's some powdery soot accumulating in the fireplace. Let's get some soot. You have enough soot. Oh yeah, we got soot already from another fireplace, didn't we? Yeah, we have soot. Well, soot yourself. Okay, can we open this? It's not a closet, it's a cupboard. There we go. In the glass pane cabinet, look in the cupboard. This pane cabinet is full of curios and memorabilia, old tarnished trophies, and an assortment of glass and ceramic vases. I'm going to assume that vase. Fragile, you wouldn't want to break them. We'll take them without breaking them then. Trophies, I'm going to assume that I can't take any of this stuff. You didn't earn that trophy, you don't get to have it. All right, close the cupboard. Can I open that drawer at the bottom? All right, look in drawer. Some woolen blankets. All right, I guess both of these. Oh, interesting. I guess she looks in both drawers at once. Close drawer. Okay. Let's look at the bookcase. None of these books are necessary for you to read. Well, technically, no books in the world are necessary to read. Like, there's no... I don't think there's any book on Earth that a human being is... that a human being has to read. It's not about what you have to do. I don't read books because I have to. All right. Well, let's take a look in this basket. I'm gonna bet this is empty. Yep. I was right. Open the desk. Oh, it's locked. Unfortunately, that doesn't... It's funny. First it says the desk is locked. Oh, that's interesting. The first time it said the desk is locked, and then it said that doesn't accomplish anything. And apparently she can only open the right side of the desk. Let's check the desk. It says writing desk. The sturdy mahogany surface sits on double pedestals, each of which boasts a drawer and a cupboard. So the desk is a blotter, perhaps on the grazing a clock, and a pen stand set. Can I take a pen? But the pens look so lovely as a set, it would be a shame to separate them. Get the blotter. The blotter is happy just where it is. Yes, let's respect the blotter's right to, let's see. I'm going to assume that we can't take the clock. It is heavy and unwieldy. Second one appears broken and therefore be of little use. Fix the clock. That course of action yields no result. Can I get the lamp? It wouldn't work if you unplugged it and took it with you. Well, I didn't say it would work. I said take it. Can I turn on the lamp? It helps if I type it right. The lodge is so well lit that you don't require the lamps at night. They're for decorative purposes. All right. Can I open the drawer? Okay, I guess everything's locked. All right, fine. Look at the chair. A large leather chair with heavy metal wheels sits in front of the desk. Okay, I think this is a bug. I think this is a minor glitch in the game's logic, because first it gives me like a proper message, and then it says you don't see anything noteworthy or don't see any point to that. And just as with the other one, it only happens once. If you try it a second time, it works correctly. Okay, little bug in the game's logic, but it's not a big deal. So yeah, there's nothing in this room either. I mean, a lot of furniture to check, but there's like nothing there. All right. Last room. What was the last room here? The billiards room. Open door. So this is the billiards room. A billiard table dominates the center of the room. There's a cue standing against one, and a card table nestled in a corner. And this is about the doors. Let's see. I don't really see much that I can... Can I get a ball? I can assume that there's no one here to play billiards with currently. Can I get a cue? All right. All right, so there's nothing here. There's actually nothing to check. Still good to... I guess it's still good that we checked it. I wonder... So that's it. We've seen all the rooms in the lodge. I wonder if it's worth going outside before we advance the plot. I'll go ahead and save here. Checked all rooms. Let's go outside.
My goodness, it's dark as anything out there. I have no need to go out this way right now.
Okay, she has no need to go out this way. Would she go out a different way? Like, would she go out the front door? No, I think this is the front door. Yeah, it even says front door. Oh, open door. Okay. Okay, so she refuses to go outside. I'm going to assume she'll do that for any door that goes outside. Looks like it. Okay. I didn't check every single door, but I'm going to assume that she does that for every door. Okay, that's fine. So we don't need to go outside now, and the game won't let us go outside now. So I'm just going to go through this again, just take a look around, just make sure that... Again, I don't know whether checking all this stuff really makes any difference, but just in case this actually somehow impacts something, like maybe the game keeps track of how many things you checked, and if you didn't check something, then the game penalizes you for not checking everything. I don't know. I really don't know, but let's just be on the safe side. So, all right. So let's go ahead and look at the men. There's a balding man with the salt and pepper hair. He seems pretty grumpy. And large man French jacket is trying to relax in an armchair. All right, let's go ahead and talk to these guys again. So we already read this. I don't need to read it again. There we go. Game is autosave because now we've talked to everyone. Now it's time to go to supper. It's time for supper. Oh, hey, since we're here, look in the cupboards, drinking glasses, and pots and pans. Let's get a glass. Yes, finally. And get a pot. Okay, they're too large and bulky to carry around with you. Okay, close the cupboard. All right, so we had to wait until now to get the drinking glass. Let's take a look at the stove. There's a kettle on it. Can we get the kettle? You take the liberty resolve not to leave the kitchen with it. You can't imagine someone just walking away with your kettle. Well, maybe I'd... All right. Oh, she did. Oh, she did take it into her inventory. So it's like we can take it, but I guess we can't leave the kitchen with it. That's interesting. Okay. Oh, this is the mug we got last time. The mug is beautiful. Oh, is this a reference to Adventure Game Studio? Because this big blue mug is, or cup, or whatever, is the logo of Adventure Game Studio, which is the tool, like the game engine that was used to make this game. I wonder if this is sort of like a hidden reference, like a sort of an homage to AGS, to Adventure Game Studio, since the game is made with it. That's kind of cute. The drinking glass you got from the kitchen, spotless. Jack is quite fastidious. All right. And the blue graniteware kettle has the polished brass and wood handle. Steam pours out of its spout. Let's look at these things with the loop. The bottom. Oh, yeah. Yes, it is. It is a reference to Adventure Game Studio. Bottom left has an inscription that reads as follows. AG Studio Chris Jones, Model 3.6.0. Okay. It really would be difficult to estimate the impact that AGS has had on adventure gaming over the past, I guess, how long has it been around? Like 20 years? When did the first version of AGS come out? Actually, it might even be more than 20 years ago. How old is AGS? Let me check. Adventure Game Studio. I'm gonna hope that Wikipedia gives me correct information. I mean, I know people say you shouldn't trust Wikipedia, but I'm gonna go ahead and trust Wikipedia and hope that the information here is correct. Wow, initial release in 1997, 27 years ago. Adventure Game Studio, the big blue cup, has been around for 27 years. And for much of that time, it's been the standard for making adventure games, like for making indie adventure games like this. So the impact that AGS has had on gaming is really inestimable. It's really hard to, like, you cannot, I think you cannot overstate how important AGS has been to adventure gaming for the past 27 years, because most games like this now are made in AGS these days. Gosh. Thank you, Chris Jones. You single-handedly shaped the indie adventure gaming scene for like more than 2 decades. It's kind of crazy to think about. All right. You admire the brilliant shine of the squeaky clean drinking glass and the kettle. Your eyes water and the loop fogs up from the steam pouring out of the kettle. You can't really examine it more closely. Can I, let's see, how do I use one of these things? It's interesting. I can't, pour water into glass. Can I? Boiling water into the drinking glass will make it too hot to hold. It might even crack. You decide against this action. Actually, that's true. You don't put hot liquids into a glass. Yeah, hot things go into porcelain. Okay, pour water into cup. Where would you like to pour the water? Wait, okay, the game thinks it's a mug, not a cup. Pour water into mug. You fill the blue mug with water from the kettle. Okay, that was useful. Actually, it wasn't really. You filled it with some water. Okay, great. We filled it with some water. And I'm gonna guess we can't leave with the kettle now.
I'm not about to haul this hot kettle around with me.
You return the kettle to the stove. All right. Oh, okay. She did that automatically. She did it all the way over here. She has very long arms. Okay, so we have a mug of hot water, which I guess is going to stop being hot after a while, and a glass. All right. Sure. Okay. Here we go. Cutscene.
My goodness, what a lot of company we have tonight.
This is giving me indigestion. I give this guy a different voice for every scene, I'm sorry. This food is giving me indigestion. You're welcome to leave. In fact, please do.
Ha, you'd like that, wouldn't you? I'm not going anywhere until we find out if that diamond came from this land. And if it did, then you better believe I'm getting my share.
That's what you think.
Yes, that's what we think. That's what I'm here to ensure.
Hey, you. How long is that gonna take?
I will begin my field work tomorrow morning. Crimson used to be a garnet mining town, yes?
Yeah, but forget about visiting the mines. They blasted the mine entrances shut years ago when they closed it down, unless the fish had a pickaxe, broke into the mine, swallowed a diamond, then dove back into the river.
Yes, I see.
I've never even been there. Couldn't tell you where it is.
Mr. Richard gets a sour look on his face and digs back into his meal. He looks like he is done with this conversation. This is sadly accurate. I know there are a lot of people like this in the world. I mean, it's kind of a funny caricature. I know it's probably meant to be funny, but it's kind of sad because I know that there are people who actually act like this. Like their only concern is money, and they have no concern for showing the slightest pleasantness toward anyone. It's kind of, I don't know. They never learned to treat people with kindness, I guess. I mean, I didn't either, so I guess I'm not one to talk.
Margot, what a lovely necklace you're wearing. Thank you, mademoiselle. Monsieur Richards gave it to me. I am very fond of it.
Is she his wife, or... I don't think she can be his wife because she wouldn't call him Monsieur Richards. I think she's probably just like his... I'm going to assume they have something going on. I'm just going to assume based on the fact that he gave her a necklace that they probably have something more than just friendly going on.
A cheap trinket, misshapen paste gem in a cheap setting. It is a white garnet, not glass. My Evan, he found it here in Crimson, didn't you, mon cher?
Okay, so they are dating. I guess they're not married, but they do have like some kind of...
Never mind, Margot. No one wants to hear about that.
My sapphire brooch. Now this is a real piece of jewelry. Bought it myself. Well, I think they're both quite nice.
Nancy is very diplomatic, but I realize this is a singularly unsatisfying answer. Nobody's going to be satisfied with hearing, well, yeah, they're both nice. Is this... I'm not sure who's speaking. I see two possibilities here. One, this is Nathan speaking, and the word Nathan is there to signpost to us that this is Nathan speaking. But it could also be that someone else is addressing Nathan and saying, Nathan, I read in the newspaper. So I'm not sure if this is Nathan speaking or someone speaking to Nathan. I don't know. I read in the newspaper that most of the land up here was once parceled out to settlers. Is that how this plot became property of Mr. Richards' father? Okay, it was somebody talking to Nathan. Who was talking to him? I don't even know who was talking to Nathan. About 50 years ago, this land was annexed by the government. Various treaties were signed in exchange for preservation of our hunting and fishing rights and financial compensation. The promises described in those treaties were not honored, by the way. Settlers came, mines were dug, and Crimson was prosperous for a time. But eventually the mines were exhausted. Most settlers abandoned their homesteads and Crimson became a ghost town. Only Mr. Richards and his family remained. Yeah, we liked the peace and quiet.
We liked it. I always hated it here.
Is that his wife? I really don't know who these people are, or what their relations with each other are. I get the feeling... I mean, obviously there's more than just friendly relations between Evan Richards and the blonde French woman whose name I already forgot, Margot, between Margot and Evan. So, is this woman his wife, or just some random woman who just carps a lot?
I sure do miss peace and quiet.
Okay, for once I have to agree with him. I actually have to agree with you here, Evan. Yeah, I think you're right about that. I think I'm going to have to side with you on this one. Nessa and Corvus are the first to excuse themselves from the table. They head to the bar for a nightcap. Albert follows them for a snifter of brandy and one of his cigars. Jack clears away the dishes and goes to the kitchen to wash up. After eating a minuscule portion of supper, Margot heads upstairs to draw a bath. Okay, so Margot doesn't eat a lot to maintain her figure, I guess. Kimmy heads upstairs to get ready for bed. Nathan and Evan remain at the table, lingering over their desserts. Because they're larger, I guess. The candles have burned down a fair bit over the course of the evening, leaving small puddles of wax solidifying on the tablecloth.
Well, that was a lovely meal.
Yeah, Jack does a good job. Usually I wait for Jack to come clear the dishes so as I can put off getting up. Looks like it's taking longer than usual to clear up with all the extra guests.
I feel a little responsible for Jack's extra workload. Maybe I ought to give him a hand.
He'd appreciate that. About time someone made themselves useful around here. Well, on the one hand, that's not a very polite thing to say to guests, but on the other hand, I guess I can kind of understand that. All right, so let's see. So we've already been here. Evan is here, Nathan is here. The candles were down, are there wax? Yeah, I was going to say, because the game mentioned the wax, I'm wondering, should I get the wax? You'll need to stand up before you do it. Yes, impossible to take wax if you're sitting. The human body is incapable of picking up wax if it's sitting down. Fine, stand up. You stand up. Get wax. Oh, she takes the wax from all 3 candles. Wow. You scratch all the candle wax drippings off the candlesticks and tablecloth with your fingernails. Well done. Okay. These are the waxy drippings from the dining room candles that you scratched off the tablecloth and candlesticks. Doesn't matter from closer examination. All right. Can we talk to these people? I mean, I know we just talked to them not long ago. Can we talk to them again?
Thanks for the nice dinner, Mr. Richards.
Didn't you have enough chatter at dinner, girl?
Wow, Jack's dinner tasted as good as it smelled.
He knows a lot of the ingredients himself. Oh, he grows a lot of the ingredients himself. It's impressive. All right. I guess these guys are not feeling very talkative right now. So I guess the thing to do is to go up to the kitchen and talk to Jack and maybe help him out with washing the dishes and stuff like that. But I will go ahead and do that next time because I think this is enough for one video. So I'll go ahead and say after, not after dinner, but after supper. We had supper, not dinner. Yes. Quite so indeed, yes. All right, this has been Supper. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I will talk to you all later. Bye-bye for now.